Hi guys, today I have a camping card to share, and this was inspired by my new stamp set from Lawn Fawn. It's the Love You S'more. So I used a bunch of stamps from this set, and that's what inspired me to make it. So let me show you the card first. So here's the card. It's a 5x7" card, and here's what the front looks like, and here's the inside of the card. So first I'm going to show you guys the stamps that I used to make this. So obviously I just showed you. I used this one, the Love You S'more, and I used the Everything Is S'more Fun With You. I used the exclamation point. The bear, I stamped him twice. I used the squirrel, both trees, this tiny star, the s'more, the second smiley face, the logs, these two flames, and I believe that's it. So that's what I used from there, and I'll quickly show you that. There's the stars. I heat embossed them onto the paper. There's the bears. I colored them a little bit differently, and I watercolored them, so that's why I have a bit of texture. So there's that one, and there's the other one. And I put this one off to the side because they're identical and it looks a little weird, and I didn't want to flip them because I had already colored them and everything. So I just put them off to the side, and you can't tell as much that they're exactly the same. So just did that, and there's the squirrel, and here's the sentiment, the s'more, and the little solid hearts. And there's the trees in the back. You can barely see them, but they're back there. And here I drew a little s'more because the s'more in the stamp set is really too big for this card. It would look really weird. So I just drew a little s'more there. It's not the greatest, but I think it gets the job done. And the same thing with the marshmallows. This includes a marshmallow right here, and again it was too big for this card. So I just hand cut from white cardstock so it'll look like marshmallows, and I drew a little stick with a marker. Then I used the Lawn Fawn Hello Baby, and I used the cat tail, and I used it as if it were a hot dog on a stick. So I just colored in the stick part in brown, and then the hot dog like in a pinkish color. So there it is. I just bent the stick a little bit so it wouldn't be completely straight. Then for the flames, which I forgot to mention, I used that from the Love You S'more set. I actually went around the die cuts with a black Crayola marker, and I added stickles to it, and I didn't think it would do that, but it did. It made the black marker bleed onto the fire, so that's why it looks darker behind this. So I thought that was a happy mistake because I think it looks pretty cool. So I might actually do that again next time, but now I know that I can't put stickles if I don't want it to bleed, because it did bleed the black marker onto the back. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but yeah, that's why it looks so dark behind this flame. So anyways, the next stamp sets I used were from Avery Elle. I used the Home Sweet Home, and I used this camper right here. You can see it back there. I used some glossy accents on the windows. And then I used this stamp set, also from Avery Elle. It's the Happy Camper, and I used this little pine tree, and I actually used it for this tree right here. I just fussy cut this out of some green cardstock, and it didn't have much dimension to it, so I just stamped those pine trees all over so it'll give it more of a realistic feel to it. So that's just what I did with that. I also stamped it a few times down here. And I think that's it. Then I used a few stickers. I'll quickly go through those. I used this one from Jolie's. I just used the cookie and the sandwich from there. So that's the little cookie in the squirrel's hand, and then there's the sandwich. Then I used this Sticko sheet. I used this for the canoe and also for some leaves. So there's the canoe, and I hope I'm right with that, but I think it's a canoe. And I put that. Then there's the leaves. And I used this Martha Stewart sticker pack, and I just used it for the wood piece back here. So, because these two come separate, so there's some wood pieces back here. And I'll have to use both hands to get these. I use the October Afternoon Campfire, and I use this for these two stickers, and it's the Happy Trails and the Warning Bear Frequenting Area. So there's those. And then this one, this is from Three Birds, it's an old sticker sheet. And I use the Friends and the Acorn border that you see on the inside. So that one, and that one. And that I got it a long time ago on HSN, probably about 3 years ago or so. So there's that, and the rest are papers, and I'll quickly go through that because I have a bunch of papers I used. I used the American Craft Spring paper pad, and I used it for this wood grain on the tree. You can see it there, right there. I used the Echo Park Scoot, and this I used it for the sky, that paper right there. I used the Simple Stories Take a Hike, and this I used it on the inside, so you can see it there. Then I used the Lawn Fawn Into the Woods, and this is the green paper I used to make this tree, and it was just a scrap that I had in there. I used the Pebbles Walnut Grove, and this is, I used it to paper piece the curtains in there, see? It doesn't show too well, but I paper pieced it with that. And finally, I used the Lakeside from Pebbles, and for this, I used these little signs, and I just fussy cut 3 of them out, so the tent, the trees, and the fork and knife. And the only other paper I used was this like watercolor paper. That's from Target. I used my Michaels watercolors for that. I used a green one and a brown one to make the ground. And then I used this new Tim Holtz brush that I got because I've been using this skinny one. Oops, let's see, this one. And this one's great for coloring like images and stuff, but I didn't like it that much for coloring backgrounds, so I picked this one up at Michaels with my 50% off coupon, and I like it a lot better for coloring backgrounds. So I used that, and I made the ground with that. So that is it for the card. Sorry this is a long video, I just had a lot of stuff to show. So here's the front. Oh, and this owl is a recollection sticker, and this moon is a Jolie sticker. I almost forgot. So there's the front again, and there's the inside again. So thanks for watching. Bye!